Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at listening to and installing the Flowmaster Flow FX single exhaust system with a black tip and a side exit, available for the 2019 and newer 5.7 liter Silverado 1500 without the factory dual exhaust. Now, if you're a Silverado owner with a factory single exhaust like ours here, as you just heard from our sound clips, this is going to be for the guys who want a 3 out of 5 on the loudness meter when it comes to their exhaust sound. This is going to give you a really deep, very aggressive sound, but it's not really on the louder side. It's deep and aggressive, gives you that nice growl at idle. It's definitely something that you can notice is aftermarket, but at cruising speeds, it really does keep it tame. At redline or wide open throttle, it definitely gets to the louder side, but I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 because it's a perfect daily driver sound. If you want a little bit more bark without any of the overwhelming sound inside the vehicle, this is a great choice. The nice thing about this one is even at highway speeds, taking longer road trips, it gets really tamed and almost pretty quiet at that low RPM in the higher gear. Now, if you're looking for something that's got the loudest bark, 5 out of 5, I recommend something like a Borla Attack or a Corsa Extreme. And if you're looking for something even quieter, there's something like maybe a Borla Touring, for example. This one falls right in between, very mellow, but it definitely gives you bark if you want it to. Now, this particular kit here is going to give you that single side exit, just like your factory one, dumping out behind the rear passenger's tire, except it's going to upgrade that tip, that appearance out of the back end. This one here is a black powder-coated slash-cut 409 stainless steel. The entire system uses 3-inch mandrel bent tubing to reduce kinks and airflow restrictions, and that 409 is going to have some corrosion and rust resistance. And I'll take a closer look at that, comparing it to stock a little bit later on in the video. Remember that the Flowmaster Flow FX is the muffler series that they're giving you with that sound. It's more of a straight-through single-chamber muffler, and the rest of the system there has no more resonators or any flex pipes or anything like that. The price tag for this kit's gonna come in right around $575. Install them given 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. You can tackle it in the driveway at home, just getting your truck up in the air a little bit there, and it'll take you about 2, maybe 3 hours from start to finish. Keep in mind, guys, the exhaust system from the factory is one piece from the tip all the way back to the top end where it connects to the cat pipe, in which case it is a pretty tight squeeze getting it off the vehicle in one piece. We have a lot easier of a time getting it off in one piece on a lift here because we're up in the air so much higher, but if you're working on the ground, I recommend even cutting it just to make life a little easier. Get it right in 2 pieces right behind that factory muffler and you'll have an easier time getting it off. But of course, you can do it in one piece, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. With that said, I'll walk you through it. Let's get started. Tools used in the install include an impact gun, 13, 14, and 15 millimeter deep sockets, 14 millimeter wrench, and a hanger removal tool. First step of the uninstall here, of course, get your truck up in the air and properly supported either on jack stands or on a lift like we have it here. I have pole jacks supporting it at the end and the middle of the exhaust, and when we start unbolting it, we have some support. Grab your 13 millimeter socket. We're gonna loosen up this bolt, holding the clamp next to our catalytic converter. All right, next step, we're gonna grab our hanger removal tool and we're gonna pop out our hangers from our isolators. Now, it's a good idea to grab WD-40 or PB Blaster or something similar to lubricate both sides of this to make life easier. There's a couple of these we'll have to remove along the exhaust. A hanger removal tool is definitely gonna come in handy here. Now, on the side of our muffler closest to the rear of the vehicle, we have 2 hangers. And you can see I have my pole jack here because once these 2 come off, this is gonna start to drop down a little bit and we want that support there. I'm gonna grab my hanger tool and pop these guys off. Last hanger before the entire exhaust is free in one piece is right above our tailpipe. And there you have it. Now we can grab a helping hand, or if you can do this yourself, you can pull the whole exhaust off in one piece. So we got our factory exhaust off of our 19 Silverado, and it's on the ground here next to our Flowmaster Flow FX single exhaust. I want to take you through some similarities and differences. And right off the bat, you can see it's a very similar exit style, very similar in the design in terms of the way it lays out. It's got the single exhaust with just pretty much 3 pipes going on. You have an exit, you have an inlet pipe, a muffler, and the overaxle pipe leading to your tip. Now, the big difference here is going to be quality of materials, of course sound, and then of course the tip. Now, in terms of quality materials, let's start up front. You can see the factory exhaust has that flex pipe leading into the cat pipe. Not going to be the case here. It's going to reduce some of that airflow restriction you get from that flex pipe there, and it's going to move into a 3-inch 409 stainless steel. Now that 409 is going to be a little bit of a higher quality than your factory exhaust. We have a 19 Silverado with very little mileage on it, and it's looking pretty worse for wear, at least up at the inlet pipe. Now that's heat discoloration, it's got a little bit of surface rust, but this guy here is going to last a little bit longer, especially useful for guys in wintry weather areas, seeing a lot of road salt. The 409 is a little bit more corrosion and rust resistant without being as expensive as the 304 stainless, which is the premium option. Moving into the muffler, you can see a significant size difference, but it's going to give you a loud bark. So size isn't everything. This is going to be a single chamber muffler from Flowmaster. It's their Flow FX series. This is going to give you that louder tone that you heard from our sound clips earlier on, and it's going to be a lot less restrictive. Now that's going to exit into another 3-inch 409 stainless steel pipe going over your axle, and it's going to dump out behind your passenger rear tire, just like your factory exhaust. Big difference here is going to be the tip. Your factory exhaust is pretty non-existent when it comes to the tip. It's just bare /cut material, so it doesn't look very attractive. It looks very traditional, and it's something a lot of guys want to upgrade right off the bat because it can be a little bit of an uglier look. The new tip here is a 4-inch /cut 304 stainless steel with a black powder-coated finish on top. Now that black powder-coated finish has somewhat of a matte or satin sheen to it, so it's not completely matte black. It's got a little bit of a gloss, but it's not a mirror-like finish. It's more of a stealthy tip compared to especially your factory exhaust, but definitely compared to some of the more polished or chrome tips in the category. If you're looking for a more traditional tip, there are chrome options out there, especially from Flowmaster, so you can get that chrome tip if you like it. Now, if you're looking for other exit styles, there are of course side exit that is dual exhaust that goes on both sides. There's dual rear. There's something for everyone. This one keeps the traditional exit style. With that said, we're going to start the install up at the front. Depending on your cab size and bed length, you might want to use that extension pipe, and of course the instruction manual will walk you through that. Ours is a crew cab. We're not going to be using that extension pipe. We're just using the inlet, so let's get started. First step for the install, we're going to take our inlet pipe and we're going to feed it over that crossbar, connect it to the inlet on the cat pipe. Connect your hanger to the isolator on the frame here. It's a little tight, so you just want to push the hanger into the isolator there, just like that. And now we can tighten up the clamp. All right, now you want to make sure this band clamp is evenly on both sides, the cat pipe and your new pipe. I'm going to get it nice and snug. Once that's snug, I'm going to push the pipe up to make sure that it's straight and tighten it down. Next up, we can connect our muffler to the inlet pipe. Make sure you have one of the 3-inch clamps over the muffler inlet. We're going to connect it. Next, grab a 15mm deep socket and tighten down that clamp. All right, next up, we can put a clamp over this outlet, just like that. Slide your over axle pipe over the axle, connect it to the muffler, and then hang it up. Slide that in, lift it up, and connect it to the hangers above the muffler. All right, lift it up and connect it to those hangers above the muffler. And do the same thing for the other hangers. Lift that up. Slide it in. If you need to lubricate it, that may help as well. All right, now we can connect the hanger toward the rear passenger tire. All right, now we can come back and tighten down that clamp. Very last step here, of course, is to make sure you like the position of the pipes. Make sure it lines up properly. Slide your tip back in. Make sure that has appropriate enough space between the top of the tip and the bumper or fender area there. Grab a 14mm deep socket and wrench and tighten that down. All right, perfect. Once everything's tight, you're good to go. Well, that's going to wrap up my review, sound clip, and install for the Flowmaster FlowFX single exhaust system with the black tip and the side exit, available for the 19 and newer 5.7 Silverado without factory dual exhaust. You can get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.